The world is full of ways to express oneself. There's music, there's dance, there's art, and many more ways that people let their emotions run free. I myself am not very good at any of those things. But art history has always been a hobby of mine. I've always been a fan of Rococo and the Renaissance pieces, but only after meeting and viewing the works of someone in my own hometown did I really understand how much of their feeling, thought, and time an artist actually puts into their work. Brenna Molden is a local visual artist who goes above and beyond in using that to express her thoughts, emotions, and interests. Over the next few minutes, my purpose for today is to educate you on her early life and entry into the art world, as well as show you a few of my favorite pieces of hers. When most people talk about visual artists, they talk about those famous and long gone, such as Michelangelo, Van Gogh, and Da Vinci. Even Picasso, who, quite frankly, I'm not that big a fan of. Brenna Molden, however, is an artist from Somerset, Kentucky, who is just getting her start. She was born in Somerset, Kentucky on November 11th, 2000, and is a senior at Southwestern High School. She's had a passion for art for as long as she or her parents can remember. And her work is a mixture of multimedia and unique styles, which creates a unique work where no piece looks the same. Brenna spent her early childhood, like most, drawing stick figures that vaguely looked like her family. But unlike some, her passion continued, and it never dwindled. She started drawing the second she had the motor skills to pick up a pencil. But in 6th grade, she started taking art classes and joined a club at school to help her increase her skill. She was majorly influenced by artist Mark Criley, who after school she would practice redrawing his art every day. As of right now, her biggest interests in the art world are illustrations and acrylic pouring. She continues her art because it's therapeutic and helps to calm her anxieties. And although she hasn't done many pieces in it, her personal favorite art style is Southern Gothic. Although she's still in high school, she's accomplished many things that will help to further her career in the art world. A few years ago, she started selling a few of her art pieces as a way to make some money on the side, but it became so popular, she started taking commissions and invested that into her future career. She actually sold a piece to a company that wanted to make a t-shirt design out of one of her artworks, as well as a hat. She was nominated as head student of the art program and earned a medal to wear at graduation. Here recently, she earned a full tuition to Moorhead University for her art. She was offered an art exhibition by the Carnegie Community Arts Center in Somerset that will put her art on display later this month. Seeing that Brenna is still in high school, there's not much to talk about when it comes to mentioning her early life. So instead I thought I might mention her plans for the future. Originally she planned on being a teacher, however now she's decided to really pursue her art as a career. At first she was going to go for school for special effects makeup like they use in the movies, but now she decided to attend school at Moorhead and get a degree in both business and art for either graphic design or independent studio practice. Okay, now we get to the fun part. Because I couldn't pick just one of her artworks, I kind of decided to show a couple of my favorites, which also happen to be her least favorites. Brenna has done many landscapes. Those are what she's most often commissioned to make by the locals here. However, this spacescape is the one I love the most. She did this one day shortly after getting to the show Futurama, and made it entirely by using some old spray paint she had lying around in her garage. And after showing it to others, she received several commissions to make some similar paintings. That is just so nice. Most of her art that isn't commissioned is often just drawings from pieces of media she happens to be interested in at the time. This next piece is actually, she completed last year, is one of those. It's actually Judy Hopps from the Disney film Zootopia. She originally started with just a basic sketch at work before doing an acrylic, just an oil painting. And then she made a twin painting to go along with it of the other character, the Nick Wilde from the movie. This piece is of a gladiator from the video game For Honor. She did the work on a black canvas and drew the character using shades of gray and white ink before adding a little bit of white paint around the edges to, add a little finishing touch to it. Okay, now this next piece. While it's not one of her greatest, it is my absolute favorite. The design was actually for a mascot for an imaginary band we came up with one night called Death by Sound. The sketch was done entirely by color pencil, and she actually plans to go back and redraw it soon and hopefully put it on a shirt, which I'm very excited to see. We haven't given the mascot a name yet. We were thinking of maybe Decibel or Linda. After listening to my speech today, I hope you leave with a greater idea of who Brenna Molden is and what kind of art she does. And while I didn't really talk as much about it, I hope that maybe you could leave with a better appreciation of local artists, because even Van Gogh is pretty unknown in his time. I only showed you a few of her pieces today, but Brenna is one of the most talented artists I have ever met. She could turn whatever you give her into art. She's dabbled in many different types of materials and works, including but not limited to sewing and costume making, special effects makeup, sculpting, and just about any other type of visual art you could think of. I mean, you could hand her just a few random pieces of paper and a paperclip and she'd give you just, I don't know, the Taj Mahal. I hope that this speech is to be the first of many documentaries written about her and her contribution to the art world in the future.